Okay, so I know Google Slides is new to some of you, or you just haven't used it in a long time, and so they've added a lot of features. And so, one thing I want to encourage you with too is just kind of explore, go through some of the menus, see what you might need, because I might not share something you need because I don't, necessarily think about it. So, a couple of things. Obviously, the basic is there is the presentation platform here for presentations. You can also search for different templates and all sorts of things like that if you so choose. They have them built into Slides, but also if you go search, there's different ones that others have built that you can use, make copies of, probably purchase. But one thing I did want to know too is you can use it for beyond that. So if you go File, Page Setup, you can actually do custom sizes. So you can do 11 by 8.5, 8.5 by 11, and basically use this as a desktop publishing platform. And then do things like if you're using your Adobe Express where you can upload your fonts to, you can create things, save them as images, and put them into your presentations. So all sorts of things. So, a couple things here. It does have the snap grid where it'll help you find middle, of the slide itself, or middle of based on compared to other objects and things like that. So it does have that. Obviously these little circles here mean rotate, and then you can resize things as necessary. If you go to the insert menu, you can see all your different options of things you can insert. So you can insert images, text boxes, you can actually insert audio now, and that can be that one is from your drive. So you upload it to your drive and then insert it. Now, one thing to think about when you're inserting images, audios, videos, if you're presenting yourself, you're fine. But if you're going to publish this to the web, if you didn't know, you can publish it to the web basically as a website. You will need to make sure your sharing permissions are set to anyone with the link so that it will work. Okay. There it is. I forgot the image. It's under share. So you can publish it to the web, basically get a link. This is good for kiosk things, parent-teacher night slideshows, stuff like that. But you can insert audio. You can insert videos as well. And these actually, can be YouTube or from your Google Drive, either one. Okay. And then, obviously the various shape options that you're used to, tables, charts. One cool thing that you can do as well is you can take, let's say you create a chart in Google Sheets, you can actually go get that chart and copy and paste it or insert it this way, and then you can link them. And then when your data changes on Sheets, it will then update in your presentation as well. And that can be useful for different things, contests sometimes, games, or just, for just tracking data. And then there's some basic kind of word art steps in there as well. Now, one thing, to note too is you can obviously duplicate slides if you want to. You can do all sorts of stuff there. So a lot of the tools that you're used to, images, shapes, videos, those sorts of things, the snap grid, you can go in here and you can right click and you can change the layout, the theme, or you can also change the background to solids, gradients. You can go custom and really play with the color wheel. You can also, again, choose an image as a background, and you have all those different options that you can go get it from. So you have that full thing. The other thing you want to know too is if you put in a picture, a video, text box, anything like that, a lot of times, depending on the size of your screen, you'll have these three dots, and you can go into format options, and then you'll get a window over here that gives you other options that you've got control over for that type of object, and this will change depending on the object. Okay. One thing that I do like is if you go insert video, and I've got a whole other training video on this, you can actually control when the video stops, when it starts, and those sorts of things. And so that becomes very useful for creating clips. So basically, sometimes I'll insert a video into the slide, and then I'll copy the slide 5 times, and then I can get my different clips and just go through there, and I do my clips that way. And so I don't have to worry about pause, stop, get it perfect. I can kind of prearrange that. Like I said, I've got a video on that, or I can come show you as well. So that's pretty cool. For those of you that are font people, when you're in there, you can change your fonts. They do have, this list here, but you can also go to more fonts, list every Google font that's available. But what I want to encourage you, if you're a big font person, I've added an extension on mine. It's called Extensus Fonts. and it will actually organize all the Google fonts available, as well as give you categories. You get these nice previews here, as well of kind of what it's going to look like. And so it just really makes it useful to go and find those fonts. I've also discovered if you've got a font you like and you want to find something similar, there's an app called Find My Font available for mobile devices. It looks Android and iOS. And so you can upload like a picture, a screenshot of what you have, and it will show you, it actually connects to Google Fonts. And so it will let you know, like, this is the Google font that's going to be closest to that. And so it might make you help with those things. Or again, like I've mentioned, working Adobe Express, you can upload fonts there and you can do that sort of thing. So lots of creativity, lots of options. Again, if you see those 3 dots, that means there's more things. You can do animations there, slides, transitions, all that kind of stuff. And then the other thing I would say too is, again, as you're exploring, is if you hover over, it will typically tell you what the thing is, and then you can also search the menus like you're used to seeing in some other programs. Okay, they've got other helps and things built in there. And you can sort of play with it. One more thing I will kind of tell you is that when you're presenting, there's some different options and tools there that are pretty cool for classroom interactivity with Q&A and things of that nature. But depending on how you want to do this, you can also, if you need to, download it. But one thing I did want you to know is you can also download these things as PDFs. So if you want to use this as kind of desktop publishing thing, you can download PDF. You can download the slides as pictures. And so you do have those sorts of options. So, lots of different stuff, lots of controls, lots of the things that you need. I can even show guides here if you really are using this kind of for desktop publishing to kind of give you a kind of a frame of reference of things you want to work with. So all sorts of things to consider and explore and do. So it's become very powerful, very user-friendly. Like I said, great for sharing and collaboration, great for kids as well to work with. And if you got any questions or other specific features you want to know it has or how to do it, let me know.